When Coil gave another punch, it seemed like he was holding back, like he had to hold back. He muttered things as he punched, though. He seemed tense. I'm gonna ignore how choppy that was. God, you're so fucking stupid, Coil growled as he punched. I was planning on telling you! Bullshit! Coil muttered under his breath. Another nasty punch. It was sudden, less controlled. He let out a pained gasp as he pulled his fist back. It began to bleed through the bandages, seeming to have missed and scratched against a sharp piece of the chains. Shit, shit, shit! He whispered, snapping his eyes shut and waving his hand in pain. Skateboard's heart began to hurt. Aw, damn. This was hard to watch. Coil? He whispered as he carefully stepped closer. Coil didn't hear it, but he did hear the sound of Skateboard accidentally knocking over one of the garbage cans, causing him to jump back and take in a sharp breath. Coil jumped, whipping around, wide-eyed, before fully processing, and suddenly ripped the punching bag off of its chains and hurled it in Skateboard's direction. Skateboard let out a yelp, ducking down and just barely dodging the projectile. Coil and Skateboard both faltered in shocked silence. You can actually do that? Skateboard stammered nervously. Coil faltered. Skateboard? Yeah? I could have hit you! What the hell? Coil suddenly snapped. Why'd you throw it then? Skateboard shot back, fluffing up slightly. Why do you sneak up on me? Coil accused, narrowing his eyes and crossing his arms. Skateboard faltered, letting out a nervous chuckle, looking off and rubbing his arm. It was not supposed to go like this. Well, it went. Coil muttered humorless. Skateboard let out a frustrated sigh, looking off. Yeah, I guess it did. What are you doing here? Coil asked instead, and Skateboard couldn't help but feel slight relief that Coil was willing to move on. Looking for you. Why? Coil asked as Skateboard began to walk over. 'Cause I was worried. Skateboard confessed sheepishly. Coil couldn't help but look over in slight fluster. He looked a little confused, but also flustered, yet also appreciative? Seriously? Yeah, man. Skateboard answered, just as confused, like it was the obvious thing to do. You're kind of important, Skateboard muttered, rolling his eyes. Oh, wait. Hold on, I'm gonna redo that. You're kinda important. Whatever, it's fine. Skateboard muttered, rolling his eyes, though more amused than anything. Coil looked off. Right, the rebellion. Skateboard looked over, slightly frustrated, still confused. And also a friend? Now Coil looked back, turning his head slightly. Why is that so surprising? Skateboard couldn't help but ask in disbelief. Coil faltered before sighing as he walked over to a fountain. He began to unwrap his hand. Was this a regular thing? Skateboard couldn't help but think this. Sorry, it's been a while since I've had that. Skateboard turned his head slightly. What, a friend? I really don't know what I'm doing with Skateboard's voice at all. Like, I want to do like the skater guy, like, hey dude, hey dude. Hey man, okay, that's kind of cool. What, a friend? I'm gonna go with that. I'm gonna hope for the best and go for that. Coil faltered before chuckling sheepishly. That came off weird, didn't it? Probably shouldn't have even said anything. No, it's okay. I'm sorry you had to go through all of that. Skateboard mumbled nervously. Coil let out a quiet sigh. Pity. Feels weird. Now I don't know what I'm doing with Coil's voice. Yeah. Skateboard let out a sheepish chuckle. Too much? Coil shrugged. I'm probably the odd one. He began as he unwrapped his hand. He couldn't help but wince. Skateboard couldn't help but swallow nervously either. For understandable reason, that injury was nasty. There was blood everywhere, not to mention Coil's hand was scarred all over. Was this why Coil's hands were always bandaged up? Skateboard shuddered at the thought, and then he also realized Coil was struggling a bit, since he didn't seem to want to fully pull off the bandages. You should probably get new wrappings, Skateboard mumbled as he took in the As he took in the bloodstains. I think it means he's taking in the sight of the bloodstains. We're gonna go with that. I don't have any on me right now. Coil confessed. I have a bunch of stuff back at the apartment. Here, let me help you. Skateboard cut in, pressing the button on the fountain. Coil let out a quiet sigh. Thanks. I really need to figure out what the fuck I'm doing. Thanks. Yeah. Wow. Okay. Thanks. He mumbled as he... Yeah, but why do I default to this? I always default to this, like, every time. Every fucking time. Anyway. Thanks. He mumbled as he carefully held his bloodied hand over the water fountain. Red water ran down the drain. Coil shuddered at the pain. He was likely feeling still. Jeez, we need to get that thing treated when we get home. Skateboard muttered with a wince. I won't try and stop you. Coil muttered, nodding in agreement. Good, 'cause I ain't letting ya. Good, 'cause I ain't letting ya. Yeah. I don't know, maybe I'm exaggerating it too much. Whatever, moving on. Skateboard chirped with a grin. Coil couldn't help but let out a laugh. Very cool. When Coil rinsed off most of the blood, he began wrapping his hand again. Seriously, what's up with this place? It looks like some kind of safety hazard, and I say that as a skater. Skateboard couldn't help but mumble nervously. Yeah, well, I was kind of desperate. People don't take too well to criminals walking into their stores, and even if they did, I'm starting out broke, Coil muttered. Is it all salvaged? Coil nodded. Yeah, the shit people throw out, I'm telling you. Coil muttered with a wince, looking at where the punching bag used to be. An entire punching bag? Skateboard chirped with a chuckle. Coil shrugged. What was up with the chains? Skateboard had to ask as the two began to leave the training area. I didn't have any way of hanging it up, Coil explained simply. You couldn't just, like, I don't know, not cover the entire thing, though? Skateboard asked, wincing at the bag as the two walked by. Seems a little too easy to hit. Coil faltered before sighing. I didn't know how else to do it. Skateboard faltered, picking up on the tone. Sorry, I didn't mean to come off like I'm nagging. It sounds a little torturous. Skateboard confessed quietly. Coil let out another quiet sigh, looking at Skateboard before looking forward. It kind of is. I need to stop coming back here. Something registered in Skateboard, as he suddenly turned to Coil with suspicion. Yeah, wait. When did you even have the time to set this up? When we met, you were already bleeding out. That was really lame. That sounded really normal is the problem. I keep sounding really freaking normal. Yeah, wait. When did you even have the time to set this up? When we first met, When we met, you were already bleeding out. 'Cause you got stabbed in the book. Yeah, trust me. Trust. Coil faltered nervously before stammering. Doesn't matter. Sometime later, I guess. No, Coil, hang on. Seriously. No, Coil, hold on. Seriously. Skateboard stammered. It seriously doesn't matter. Coil snarked slightly. Yes, Coil, it does. That's why I'm asking, because I'm seriously concerned. Skateboard muttered back, causing Coil to flinch. Shocked at... Do you mind? Do you mind? Thank you. Anyway. Seriously, do you mind? Okay. Barley. Okay, fuck. Alright, anyway. Coil faltered nervously before stammering. Doesn't matter. Sometime later, I guess. No, Coil, hold on. Seriously. Skateboard stammered. It seriously doesn't matter, Coil snarked slightly. Yes, Coil, it does. That's why I'm asking, because I'm seriously concerned. Skateboard muttered back, causing Coil to flinch, shocked at Skateboard's quick, snarky response. The two stood in silence for quite a while, but then Coil finally mumbled, I'm sorry. I'm sorry, okay? I just... tired of us going back and forth like this, Coil confessed. Then tell me what's going on, man, Skateboard pleaded slightly. You'll get mad. You'll get mad. Literally the exact opposite outcome I'm hoping for. You'll get mad. Literally the exact opposite outcome I'm hoping for, Coil snarked with a forced grin. Skateboard went serious. Coil, I won't get mad. Maybe worried, but not mad. Coil looked over, furrowing a slightly nervous brow. You sure? Coil, I swear on it. Skateboard mumbled with a wary grin. Coil, I swear on it. Coil, I swear on it. I don't know. That line, all Skateboard lines sound weird to me. Coil faltered again before sighing. Okay. Yeah. I've, been coming out here pretty late at night, just trying to make sure I don't start getting rusty. Coil confessed as he looked off nervously. Skateboard faltered. You said you want to get... Oh wait, no, this is Coil. You said you want to get mad. Coil quiet... Oh. How do I say this line? You said you want to get mad? Or you said you want to get mad. Okay, I think I like that. I just need to do that in Coil voice. You said you want to get mad, Coil quietly reminded. And I'm not. Oh, hold on. And I'm not, Skateboard answered, cautious. But you're worried? Coil realized. A bit. The two fell silent. Well, I'm gonna be honest, I really don't like this place, Skateboard mumbled, glancing back at the training area. I don't like what it does to you either, he also confessed. And with the biographs wandering the streets, look, I get it, okay, but it's all I have. Coil cut in nervously, rubbing at his arm. Skateboard faltered, worried and anxious, but then he dimmed, furrowing his brow as he thought. What if we set up some kind of training area at the base? He offered, raising a brow. Coil looked over curiously. Maybe a safer one, Skateboard added with a nervous grin. And bigger too. I'm sure you're not the only one who'd like having that. Skateboard continued a bit calmer. Really? Coil asked with a raised brow. I mean, sure, why not? That was horrible. I mean, sure, why the hell not? Skateboard chirped with a sheepish chuckle. As long as you'd stop sneaking off in the middle of the night, he teased, but with a nervous grin. Coil looked over at the old rugged training area before letting out a quiet sigh. I would, he replied. Cool, I'll get that set up then. Skateboard chirped with slight relief. Coil let out a quiet sigh, smiling a bit. Thanks, Skate. Skateboard also smiled. Of course. Of course. That sounds nothing like anything that I've ever done before. Well, okay. Of course. He chirped in response, walking alongside Coil and wrapping an arm over his back and shoulder. He let out a sheepish chuckle, doing the same to Skateboard. Skateboard approached the fence with the small opening at the bottom. I am losing Skateboard so badly. This entry really isn't that conventional, Skateboard muttered with a grimace, already not looking forward to getting on his hands and knees again. Oh, I actually know a better way out of here. Coil cut in with a sheepish chuckle, nodding to an opposite path to the training area route. Skateboard raised a brow, quickly walking to catch up with Coil. Oh, cool, he chirped, also sheepish. The two were walking down the alleyway, and everything was kind of fine. I hate to say this, considering what caused our whole argument in the first place, but we really gotta talk about those biographs. Skateboard mumbled nervously. Coil faltered, breaking into a nervous sweat. Yeah, that's understandable. Yeah, that's understandable. Okay, I like that a little bit, kind of, not really. I don't like any of these voices. Anyway... Skateboard faltered, looking over with nervousness. I get that it's difficult to talk about, but it's just us right now. We don't have to make it a whole rebellion thing if you don't want to. Coil let out a shaky sigh. That'd make it easier, I'm thinking. Just before either of them could say anything, though, there was a sudden sound as a trash can fell over behind them, causing the two to panic slightly and turn around quickly. Skate, get behind me. Coil quickly cut in, furrowing her brow. Skateboard faltered. Hey, I don't want you getting hurt, okay? Coil faltered, appreciating Skateboard's concern, but feeling slightly frustrated by it. I can take a hit. I can take a hit. I know you can. No, I don't like that. I know you can. Coil turned in slight confusion. Just don't go looking for one, okay? Skateboard asked with pleading eyes. Coil sighed before her, smiling and softening. I won't. Skateboard smiled back, softening as well. The scuttling sound made both of them freeze, though. I'm gonna end here because I need to remember which one we go to from here.